I can tell you that we're excited and proud to have Kirby Nagelhout Construction as a member of COBA for the past 30 years. They've been instrumental in building our community. They represent quality, integrity, reliability. They're an award-winning company, and we're excited to help celebrate with them their 30th anniversary in business.
I was around here when I was 9 or 10 years old and hanging out with Dad on job sites. When he was working on a project, I'd go hang out with him and drive the forklift around, pick up sticks, and try to help as much as I could.
Probably 84 or 85, I worked at Mount Bachelor. I was a welder for Mount Bachelor, and Kirby was a builder. In 1986, he started Kirby Nagelhout Construction and asked me to join him.
Came over here working for a Eugene area contractor at St. Charles, and Kirby was a subcontractor of ours doing concrete. That would have been in 1990. And near the end of the job, he called one day and said, "Mike, is Bill there?" Bill was my boss at the time. I said, "No, he's out to lunch for about an hour and a half. I'm gonna have him call you when he gets back." He goes, "No, I'll be over in a little bit." So he came over and asked me if I wanted to work for him, and I came to work for this kind of really small startup, kind of odd construction company in Bend. I've been here for 25 years.
I've seen it grow from a one man kind of doing it all, from bidding to running the jobs to managing all the projects.
It was not the commercial enterprise that it is today. It was a small kind of seat of the pants operation. We grew with the economy that grew around here. I mean, we always kind of stepped up to the next bigger job in town, brought on more employees, gathered the ability to do things that needed to be done that, say for instance, steel fabrication and erection and big concrete work. As the jobs got bigger, we got bigger.
And most importantly for Dad was to take care of the employees. He went the extra mile to try and get all these jobs. He'd stay all night to get a bid done so he can get more work to keep his employees busy and to take care of them along with the community. He silently gave back all the time. That was his biggest pride, was to give back without anybody knowing about it.
After the first 13 years, I left for 13 years and came back. He knew he was terminally ill and was not going to be here to run the company, and so he called me and said, "Let's talk," and we did. I don't know that he thought I was qualified per se, but he knew I was dedicated and would work to all lengths to make it happen and be successful. Not unlike a lot of the people that are employed here. There's an unspoken pride that's within this group, and it doesn't matter who comes or goes to our group, but our group has a culture of tough, hard Central Oregon folks that can conquer anything and do anything, and our company has done that for 30 years.
We are now a large, very professional, very competent, very safety-oriented, very, dedicated still to our employees and our community that supports us, and now that's become communities that support us.
The people here really like them because they know rural towns and they fit in really well.
We knew we wanted to contract with companies that were relational in nature. We knew we wanted to contract with companies that were understanding of kind of the small community rural values.
They kept us in budget, which is really good for the city that has little money. Their attention to detail has been very good, and they've been really easy to work with.
Our business especially, there is so much pride that's taken in what you've constructed.
Pretty nice to be part of that. I mean, I love driving around town, people waving at you. You don't even know, but they wave at the pickup.
What did you build? Did you build that, Daddy? Did you build that? And when you drive around a town like Bend, you can say yes more times than you can say no.
Well, they came highly recommended. I've taken part in building 3 buildings. This is the first one, the Nagelhout building in Redmond, is the first building to come in under budget and on time. I've never said that before about anybody.
See you guys all over the place. You must be doing good. You know, that's a great feeling because people recognize who we are and they're glad to see that we're busy again after the recession.
That's how we landed with Kirby Nagelhout Construction Company. They jumped out at us as being kind of all those things, relational, understanding of small town in Eastern Oregon, wanted to be invested in our community, and we knew they were good at what they did.
Importantly too, a lot of things haven't changed. We're still that small can-do company. We're still that small company that people enjoy working for.
On top of building buildings, we just, you know, we have a good time. We harass each other, play jokes with each other, and poke fun once in a while. But when we gotta be serious, gotta be serious. And we know where that line is, and we flirt with it sometimes.
Don't really ever want to lose that as we grow to become a larger company, because I think it's one of the things that makes us unique.
They're easy to communicate with, and they listen, and they have good ideas, you know, things that could save us money.
In order to get all of the perks for moving to Redmond, we had to meet on time, and they did it.
Kirby was a master at, if it's hard, if it's difficult, we want to do it. If it's impossible, then we'll make it hard and go do it.
This project was a real challenge, and it went very well because what we were doing is we had to tear down an existing building, and you always find all sorts of mysteries and surprises when you're doing it. The other thing that made it extremely difficult is we were in full operation the whole time the project was going on. They'd come and say, here's 3 options, here's associated costs, and here's a timeline. That made it really easy to make a decision quickly and move forward. The project turned out great.
We've got people that are they're committed to this company. They care about it. They jump in and participate, and you know, that's building a team, camaraderie, an organization, and in a sense, it's kind of like building a project. It's a longer term, less tangible, but in the end, it's more rewarding, I think.
Playing with equipment's also a joy too.
We all know in our career or in life that 10 years goes by like a blink of an eye, and then as we get a little older, then 20 years has gone by like the blink of an eye, and here we are 30 years later, and I think of myself still as that 20-year-old kid learning the industry, learning the business. We always strive for the good old days of what it was. The good old days are now for the next generation.
I hope that the transition from Jeff and Tyler and I to the next people that run the company goes as well for them as it's gone for us.
Let's keep rolling. I got 2 boys and myself coming up, 3rd generation coming up, and hopefully we can get that rolling. I know Jeff's son is interested in getting in here, so the next generation's coming up and build more buildings.
We want to create the best structure and environment for those people to be successful for the next generation, and instill the mindset into them that they need to do it again.
Transitioning from a Central Oregon-based construction company to opening an office in Portland and Pendleton will make Kirby Nagelhout Construction Company a force to be reckoned with in the Pacific Northwest.
Been really pleased with the work that Kirby Nagelhout Construction Company has done in our district.
A lot of that goes back to the way Kirby operated. It's like he found people that worked for him that he could place his trust in to accomplish the wild things we were doing back in the early days and the developing things that we've done as a company.
Well, I know that he would be proud of all of us that he was close to. He would also be a little bit surprised, and unfortunately, he left us in a time when it wasn't certain what was going to happen to this business. And so if he's able to look down on us now and see where we're at, he's smiling.
We were really concerned, and we were really about what was going to happen to our sales and what was going to happen to our customer service rating. And because they worked with us so well, we actually increased the sales year over year through this project, and we also won an award from Ford Motor Company for customer satisfaction during it. You know, if it wasn't for them working with us, communicating with us step by step, that never would have been possible. I think the world of Jeff Desworth, you know, and like my experience with him over these 3 projects. He's a fantastic guy. I mean, if he says it, you can take it to the bank.
The only thing I would ever say is thank you, Kirby, for this opportunity.
most importantly, thank you.
When you think of this company and how much this company has affected the industry in Central Oregon, we have built the majority of the buildings built in Central Oregon over the last 30 years.
Thank you so much for your help. You took Dad's vision and with his help and guidance and now current staffing guidance and help, we've built amazing things, and thank you so much. Appreciate it.
The first 30 years went great. The next 30 years will be something to see.
I would recommend Kirby Nagelhout.
I would recommend Kirby Nagelhout with enthusiasm for any of these kinds of jobs.
I do recommend them because we had such a positive out.
I would strongly recommend Kirby Nagelhout.
Thanks for being a part of it, because it was not any one of us, it was all of us.